Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Altitude Sickness Podcast. This is episode number 14. I am your host, Tony, and as always, I am joined by Drew and Matthew. How we doing?
Pretty good. Long weekend,
Yeah.
but happy to be here.
Yep, the Rockies got a win yesterday, so we're coming off a win for this recording because we're starting right before the Astros game, in which we're not going to be watching in the middle of the podcast this time. So it's probably good. But yeah, the Rockies aren't doing terrible. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple things go the Rockies' way, and that they have a 500 record pretty easily. So not too upset, especially with the competition that they've played so far. So.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing, like, going back to last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago at this point, Miami, I mean, you're talking about that last game in Miami, that very easily Rockies could have won, probably should have won it. And the other two games they played, I mean, they were one-run games, so one thing goes your way, you win one of those. And the Phillies game that the Rockies played on Saturday was a close one, 2-1. You know, if the Rockies have any offense, they win another series against a pretty good team. And so, but honestly, like, yeah, the vibes, like, yes, they've had one, I would say one bad loss. Like, I wouldn't even consider, we'll get more into it, but one of the loss in the Blue Jay series was like a somewhat close loss. I don't think I would really say that was that bad of one. Especially because that was the game that Feltner pitched? Was that the game that Feltner pitched?
Yeah.
And
yes, he was dealing.
He was dealing and then got hit with a line drive and was taken out of the game. And then the bullpen just had to be, they were taxed a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna get into these series. But yeah, like, a few things go their way. The Rockies are about 500 because, like, 3-6, like, yes, to most other teams you're probably like, yeah, that's a bad record. Like, it's so weird to have this low of expectations for this team, to be sitting here with the 3-6 record, and I'm like fine with it. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm not really mad with the 3-6 record. Because last year, I mean, if we were at this point last year, we would be 1-8. I don't think we don't win the series at all. We don't win the series against the Blue Jays, and we probably don't win that Sunday game. We find a way to blow it yesterday, and so
Phillies go 0-9 in the last 9 games.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah, so to dive into the series, so the first one of last week was against the Blue Jays, where we said the Rockies ended up pulling out a win in the series, which is insane. You know, going into the reigning AL champs home ballpark and taking 2 of 3 is kind of crazy. One of them in blowout fashion. They won, what was it, 14-5?
14-5.
14-5. Yep. Overall, I'm pretty sure like it was a pretty just kind of dominant win. Mainly, I mean, not mainly because, but unfortunately, Cody Ponce, the pitcher for the Blue Jays, was messed up his knee. I think he sprained his ACL or something. And so he was taken out of the game, which stinks. But the Rockies, I mean, they took advantage of a not so far not good Blue Jays bullpen, and they were able to win that game pretty easily. I think people of note in that game, I mean, I know Tovar had a pretty big game. Yeah, Tovar had 3 hits and 3 RBI. Let's see here. TJ Rumfeld, 3 hits again. Troy Johnston had 2 hits, including a home run, his first of the year. Braxton Fulford, he went 2 for 2, which he was sent down at some point last week to make room for Mickey Moniak. But he had a good game. And then pitching-wise, like, Dollander wasn't, he came in and relieved a bit, and he wasn't amazing, but, like, also, you know, that's why you're in the bullpen. I think it's better to get, I think it's better for him to struggle against major leaguers in a bullpen situation rather than be just in AAA, kind of just wasting bullets, because you're not getting anything out of that. And so I think that's definitely more important. And then in that game, too, it was Sagano. That was his first start as a Rocky. He went 4-2. He went, I think, 4 2/3, I believe, in that game. Yeah, 4 2/3. Gave up 1 run. So overall, he was pretty good. Like we said, the Rockies ended up losing the second one. They dropped the second game 5-1 because Max Scherzer, just kind of dealt. Only blemish he had was a Hunter Goodman solo home run. But overall, the Rockies just kind of were outmatched in that one. And then the final game on Wednesday was a 2-1 extra inning game. So that's a game 100%. Last year, I think the Rockies they lose that 90 to 95% of the time. They find a way to just not take advantage of the base runner on in the 10th inning, or they just blow it in without extras. And so it was Tyler Freeman coming off. He came off the IL, and his first AB pinch hitting slaps a single up the middle, and that's exactly why you want him here. Unfortunately, he's dealing with another back issue, and so he's been held out of the lineup for the past few days again, which really stinks. I don't know what the back issue is exactly, but he's dealing with it right now, and that's brutal because he's a big cog in this lineup.
I think Thomas Harding said that it's going to be ongoing for the rest of the year, too.
That stinks because...
we saw the offense before him and Moniak came back, and we saw them, how much they were able to produce, especially with certain people we didn't expect to struggle already, that are already struggling. They really picked it up for the offense. And something to note in the last Blue Jays game was, you want to know who closed, who might have been his first time closing that I remember, the Rockies, but Jimmy Herget.
Yeah.
That might be something we see a little more often.
Yeah.
Especially in freaky situations where we're either running out of arms or, injuries happen, and the Rockies kind of, I don't want to say they have to scramble, but almost kind of like, okay, Vodnik had a bad day, like, who's next?
Yeah.
And so I honestly don't hate, obviously Herget's a great middle inning guy because he doesn't throw very hard, as opposed to, I guess, probably half the Rockies starters now. So he really changes it up, and then you switch to Vodnik, somebody who throws really hard. But honestly, Jimmy has the poise and the confidence to close out a game, and that is exactly what we saw in the last game against the Blue Jays.
Yep, I would agree. He's been, like, we'll talk about it later in the Who's Hot section, but he's been nails so far this year, which kind of has been like the opposite of what he was in spring training. And a lot of that I do think was because they were tinkering with some of his stuff and seeing what was working and what's not. But he's right back in form from last year, and he's been very good, and so that's nice. And that's been a theme that we'll talk about later, has been the pitching has been pretty decent. Other than this next game that we'll talk about here, the first game of the Phillies series. It was the home opener in front of a sellout crowd of over 49,000, and Michael Lorenzen gave up 7 runs without recording 2 outs. So, that's going to happen just once in a while, especially pitching at Coors. You're going to have those innings that there's just going to be blow-ups. But watching that game, it was not fun. Like, it was off the rip. It was a double from Trey Turner down the line, and then a walk, and then a single, and then a walk or something, and then a home run, and then another double, a single, and a single or something. And it was that ongoing, like, you know what it's like. He just could not miss anything. Everything was getting hit hard. And that's just how it's been. And it's unfortunate because he was the guy that's like, he was excited to be, go to Coors and pitch. And I know I saw people online being like, oh, of course this was going to happen, the most obvious thing. It's like, he's gotten off to a little bit of a rough start to begin his Rockies tenure, but I think he's going to right the ship. I do not expect him to every game be bad, like be this bad. I think he'll be okay for the most part. But yeah, that was just brutal. Rockies offense was just non-existent. Aaron Nola shut us down, as he has done pretty often in his career as well. But in that game, while it really stunk, I think a big shout out is going to go out to Valente Biozo, I think is how you pronounce his name. Like, that dude was absolutely insane. after Lorenzen was able to somehow gut out 3 innings, which, I mean, after that first, I'm kind of shocked he went out there. But the fact that he was able to get 2 more innings, which, yeah, sure, you're not going to necessarily be like, oh, you're going to get a lot of credit for getting that. But, like, I mean, he gutted out the last 2 innings, and especially to start a series where, again, we had a home series, and then we've got, like we've said, we have 3 games against the Astros and then 4 against the Padres. We don't have an off day until next week. And so we needed innings. And so him getting even those 2 extra innings, that's another bullpen guy that they don't need to use on that day that they can use for the rest of the series. So, good on Lorenzen to gut out a little more. But then, yeah, Valente Beozo goes 6 innings, allows only 1 run on I think it was a Kyle Schwarber home run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, death taxes and the Rockies give up home runs to Kyle Schwarber. It's gonna happen.
It was so windy that day too.
Yeah,
it was all blowing.
There were 2 home runs that would not have been home runs if it wasn't 20-mile-per-hour wind going out of the ballpark.
And Kyle Schwarber's odds to hit a home run was only plus like 160.
Yeah,
which is the most outrageous thing I have ever seen, and it hit, so it's right.
Yeah.
But the fact that someone is so close, they are double the odds. Kyle Schwarber is double the odds better to hit a home run in that game than UConn is of beating Michigan tonight. Like, that is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so not really surprising. But, I mean, because they said it, I watched the post game, and Warren Schaefer knew, like, the bullpen just got done. They had a day's rest, but the bullpen just got done pitching an extra innings game.
Yeah.
And so Lorenzen knew he had to give innings that game. And Warren Schaefer knew that too. So after that first inning, I'm not really surprised that they kept him in. Just because, like, Lorenzen's going to have to figure out how to pitch in Coors.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's really any added benefit to either him or the team after pulling him.
Yeah.
Now, if it were someone who's been in the Rockies organization, like if it was Feltner or Freeland, I would get them pulling him. But that was Lorenzen's first time pitching. Mm-hmm. And sometimes for pitchers, it really just takes that one thing that clicks.
Yeah.
And then they kind of figure it out.
Yeah, I think he could definitely use a little bit of just, that learning experience. Because, like, I think that was only his 3rd time ever pitching at Coors. And he didn't have to face the Rockies, who, suck. So, like, that was also probably a little different. And so, but again, to just go back to Beozo, like, it's 7 strikeouts in 6 innings, which I didn't even think about that, like, how he went the rest of the game. Like, I remember because during the game, I was driving the whole time, pretty much, and I just kept hearing Jack Corrigan say, oh, well, Beozo's still out on the mound, and it was like the 7th inning, and I was like, how is he still out there? He ended up throwing 77 pitches, so he got 77 pitches through 6 innings is very good. That's very efficient. And so, overall, very, very good outing by him. Only allowed 1 hit. It was that home run, and that was it. And if your only hit that you're allowing is a solo home run to Schwarber, yeah, I'll take that. So, that was...
I got one more thing about Lorenzen and the post-game presser, was that he could just be totally blowing smoke, and I'm buying it. But he wouldn't tell the media, like, he figured something out, like, how to adjust. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, I'm not going to, like, make that public. Yeah. But I figured something out. So hopefully his next start that will be coming up in this series, correct? The 3rd game?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see in a couple days if he did actually figure something out.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yep.
And then, 9 pitches. One of them's got to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing.
The key is.
The key is. You want to go? You go.
Sorry, go.
No.
So no, you. Go.
Okay. Sorry. Like, that's the thing with it, is that you got so many pitches, and so, like, at Coors, you're going to know there's going to be certain pitches that are going to work better. I think there's been studies done that have shown that the changeup works a lot better at Coors than a lot of other pitches, and certain fastballs don't work because they aren't going to break or they stay too flat or whatever happens. And so that's just a simple eliminate that. It's like the same thing with Dollander we've talked about. Like his four-seam fastball is flat. It's super flat at Coors, and that's why it just gets hit like BP. And so, like, you just got to eliminate that, put in the two-seam, and roll with that. And so I think that's just a simple adjustment, and so hopefully he'll be able to make that.
All I was going to say was he should try not throwing it down the middle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good key. He did also walk quite a few people. That was also a big issue, and that's just been a problem with the Rockies pitching just in all of history. They should teach they should teach our hitters how to watch for walks. Honestly, they should.
Correct.
They should be doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the game to move on to the next game, because offensively it was just a snooze fest. They didn't do anything. The next game on Saturday, unfortunately, was another snooze fest. That game, Matthew and I actually were in Colorado, and we were able to go. That's what I'm wearing right now for the video portion of the podcast. I'm wearing the merch that we got, or I don't even know what this is, like jersey sweatshirt thingy.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. It was a beautiful night, but unfortunately it was a pitching duel, which is like the worst game to go to, especially at Coors Field. It was pretty boring. The Phillies, I think they scored first. Rockies
they scored in the inning.
Yeah, Rockies came back. Yeah, they scored in the first. Rockies came back and scored in the third. But then Phillies scored in the fifth, and then that was the only runs for the game. It was a pretty boring game overall. Dollander came in and pitched after Bernardino, who started the game. He allowed one run. Herget then came in the first inning to relieve Bernardino, which shocked me. I was like, what's happening here? But it ended up working out. Dollander came in and pitched, I think it was like 3 innings? 4 and a third. And I mean, he did end up allowing one run that ended up being the decider, but he's not the one that, made our offense score only one run, so I'm not really going to blame him for that. 4 and a third innings, only allowing one run at Coors. Like, I'll take that. He had 6 strikeouts too, so like that's the thing. He's been good. He's been striking guys out. He's figuring stuff out at Coors, and I do think it's very valuable again that he is up with the major league roster right now, and he's getting time, even if it is in the bullpen, because it's like, knock on wood, so far they're long relieving with him and Senzatella and now Beozo. It's been working. Like what they've been doing with them has been working. Like the pitching has been solid, and so that's a matter of just hopefully the starters can give a little more length for stuff, and they don't have to make the bullpen feel so taxed, because that was an issue last year. It's been an issue every year for the last 4 years. Has just been the bullpen gets taxed so fast, and then they just end up blowing it near in the middle of the season because they can't do anymore. But overall, it was a pretty slow game, and the Rockies just ended up losing just because the offense has really been killer. Other than a few guys, the offense has not been great. Unfortunately, just way too many strikeouts. They struck out 13 times on Saturday, and those are empty at bats, and you're not going to do anything. Like Willie Castro struck out 3 times, Hunter Goodman struck out 3 times, Doyle and Tovar both had 2. So that's just brutal. And they got to figure something out with that. But then we get, all that matters is we win that Sunday getaway day. And that's what we ended up doing, because Sagano pitched a gem. So Sagano so far has probably been the best pitcher. I would say him and Freeland have both been the 2 guys that have been very good. But Sagano absolutely dealt. He ended up going, what did he end up doing? 6 innings of 1-run ball, only letting up 4 hits, walked 1 but struck out 5. What does he throw? Is it his sinker or whatever it is? Like, it works really well. It drops down a lot. It's got a lot of the vertical break, and it's been pretty good. And overall, he did very, very good that day. The rest of the pitching also slammed the door. Jaden Hill, 1 inning of no run. Didn't allow anything, no base runners. Bernardino, another 2 strikeouts in an inning pitch. He's been really good. Bernardino has been really, really good so far, and I really like him. And Victor Vodnik got the first save of the year for him. So that's cool. After unfortunately blowing the save against Miami, which obviously he did let up the home run, but in that game, if you remember, Jake McCarthy did make a tough defensive play that ended up being a decider, because if he caught the ball, that would have ended the game there, and unfortunately the next batter hit the home run. But Vodnik does allow 2 hits in the ninth inning there, but ended up striking out the side and getting the win for the Rockies, and so that was pretty cool. And so gotta love that. I mean, and then hitting wise, I mean, this one finally had a little bit of offense. Moniak comes back and he hits 2 home runs, one in the first inning. And then TJ Rumfeld hits a home run of his own. And so that was pretty cool. Pretty good stuff. Again, like only 8 strikeouts on that day too. So, even though it's not, that's still maybe a little too many. It's better than 12, and that's 4 more at-bats that you can get stuff out of.
We want to keep it in single digits.
Yes.
The Rockies are already going to strike out a ton, and we know that. Even our best hitters strike out a lot.
Yeah.
So just keeping it within reason. That's my mental note. As long as it's a single digit, I think that's a win.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's definitely an improvement, always.
I would agree. And so, but overall, I mean, good series. Like, obviously you had the blowout, which is never fun, but, if this were last year, I think 3 of those games would have been like those. Like, 3 of those games would have been blowouts. And 1-run losses are never fun, but I'm going to take a 1-run loss over a blowout. Like, I'm sorry, that's how I'm going to roll. And overall, like, those were, I would say, the pretty good. Overall, that's just how the series went. So we ended up going 3-3 last week. So we'll take that. And yeah. So we'll get into, if you guys have nothing else on the series, we'll get into the who's hot. So we kind of hinted at a little bit of this throughout while we're going over those series. But so big ones, I think it's pretty obvious, is so far Rumfield been very good. He's got a 992 OPS with 2 home runs, 5 RBI. He's probably overall been the most consistent hitter on our team. I do think it's kind of interesting that he's still slotted in the 5-hole, and he has not been moved. He has pretty much been the 5-hole hitter the entire year. And so that's kind of, I kind of expected him to move up to the 4-hole at some point, but who knows? Maybe that's where he thinks he can fill in better, is just being the protection of the 4-hole. And so, but, and then Moniak, again, he's come back. He played the full series against the Phillies. He's got a 1333 OPS. He got 2 home runs and 2 RBI. It's just so nice to have him in the lineup. Like him filling in that 3-hole as opposed to having Castro. It's just so much better. And I expect this offense to I hope this offense, I guess, can take a little bit of a step up with him now in it, and hopefully Tyler Freeman can get back to some health, and we'll have him back as well. And then honestly, other than that, there's really not much in terms of offense that's worth talking about, sadly. But pitching-wise, like, I'll take that. I'll take good pitching. Sugano, again, like I said, he's pitched 10 2/3 innings to a 1.69 ERA, 9 strikeouts to 3 walks. Like, he has been very good. And then Freeland also, 9 1/3 innings to a 2.89 ERA, 8 strikeouts to 3 walks. He also does have 3 hit by pitches, so, and he's leading the league in that currently, so that's cool. But Senzatella, this is a funny one. It's Senzatella. So he has 4 2/3 innings out of the bullpen this year with a 0 ERA, 6 strikeouts to 1 walk. That's just absolutely crazy. He has been he looks like a completely different pitcher. Like
he belongs in the bullpen. They should never start him again. They should never start him again.
I think that's where he fits. I think he does fit a lot better in the long relief role. And yeah, no, like he looks very good, and so I'm happy that he's doing well. Jimmy Herget also, like I said again, he's pitched 4 1/3, 0 runs allowed, 5 strikeouts to no walks. Just he's been dealing. Got a save as well. in that extra innings win against the Blue Jays. He got the save. Or he got the win, I guess. I guess he got the win. It's not the save, because I guess he would get the win in that, I believe, because it's in the same inning. I forgot. I'm checking really quick. No, yeah, Bernardino got the win. So he did get the save with that one. That's interesting. Oh. All right. And then Bernardino, like I said again, Bernardino been very good. The off-season pickup that we got, 4 2/3 innings to a 1.93 ERA, 3 strikeouts to 2 walks. He's just been good. He's been that lefty that's been pretty good, and so we like it. Though it is worth noting, so like we have only the one lefty, but a guy that's been kind of a lefty specialist has been Jaden Hill. He has been pretty good against the lefty, because he works with he has a good changeup and sinker, and so he's been pretty good with that. Do you guys have anyone else that's on the who's hot for now?
Nope. I think the key point that we've been looking at for these pitchers that are hot, that they're not walking a ton of batters.
Yeah.
I did the math. They're about 32 total innings ish. They've only walked 9 batters.
Yeah.
Like last year at this time, nobody would have been. Well, some people were hot here, but they were still walking batters.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was one thing we talked about all off season, was just like not giving up free bases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially at Coors, like that's like I don't mean to just always make it about Coors Field, but like that's just the nature of being a Rockies pitcher, is that you have to take that into account. Is that walks are going to hurt you a lot more at Coors than they are anywhere else, and so.
Well, and I mean, even in the case of Lorenzen, I mean, he walks 2 batters and immediately gets punished for
Exactly.
So and it's just our luck. It's like as soon as we give up a free base, we're gonna get.
We're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah. Those free bases will always be killers for sure.
He allowed 12 hits in 3 innings.
I
mean, it is a really good offense. It's a really good offense.
He was throwing meat.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
he was doing the Chase Dullander special.
Yeah. So hopefully he can figure. Hopefully he found something that he said, and he'll be able to use it to his advantage. Now we get to talk about the not so fun stuff. The who is not. And
my entire home run draft team.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to, honestly, we could. If we wanted to really just make this easy, we could just put almost everyone else on the offense right now, just in this list. Mainly because of the strikeouts, man. This is bad. Like it's an epidemic. They continue to strike out at crazy rates, and I don't understand. So big one here. It sucks for me, and I'm very sad. Jordan Beck has just been pretty abysmal at the plate. He's not had a hit since last Sunday. That was his last hit. Was that bases clearing double in the first inning? And he's been losing starting times because of it. And that's just, I mean, that's what's gonna happen. So far he's got a 303 OPS. He's got 2 hits in 22 at bats. He's got only 6 strikeouts, so he's not really. I mean, 6 strikeouts and 22 ABs is not ideal, but it's just not the most fun. But who's next here? Oh, Doyle. I mean, Doyle, I think, again, has kind of been bitten by the unfortunate bug a little bit. But at the same time, like, he's not getting results. He's got a 379 OPS. He's got 10 strikeouts and 28 plate appearances, so that's over 30%.
I would argue, I think I have seen Doyle have some of the worst strikeouts this year.
Yeah. I think it's not been good.
Swings at bad pitches, watches good pitches go right down the middle.
That's something that is very, very interesting that I noticed yesterday, and I noticed throughout the Phillies series. The Rockies are watching way too many pitches. Like, they just do not recognize pitches out of the hand at all. Because, I mean, I have seen this exact at-bat from Ezequiel Tovar, I think already like 4 times this year, is he will swing at a slider that is down and away, that's never a strike. He will watch strike 2 at a low fastball that's in the zone, and then he will swing at an outside low slider again for strike 3. Just 1, 2, 3, goodbye, sit down, see you later. And it's really annoying because like he's still obviously a very, very good player, a very talented hitter. He really needs to, and I think the coaching staff need to help. But at the same time, it's also, to me, I'm like, at some point, it's also got to be on the hitter. It's got to be on the player. Like, make an adjustment. Like, you're not going to get, like, they know your weakness is low and away, so that's where they're going to attack. So understand that, and when it's down and away with any spin, don't swing. Like, it's very frustrating. And then, like, same thing, McCarthy has just been really, really rough to watch. He suffers from the same thing that Veen had a problem with, was that he just cannot hit a ball that is over 93 miles an hour. It's just like I'm watching a 95 mile an hour fastball that's like up and in just beat him every single time. And it's really annoying. And it's like, he's so fast, like he could bunt for a hit every single time. They could know it's coming and he would still get a bunt for a hit like 80% of the time. But he still just continues to struggle with dealing with that. And so that's just really aggravating to watch. And then Willie Castro has just been, again, this so far has just been a very, very bad start to his Rockies tenure. What is he hitting right now? He's hitting a 465 OPS, and that's the highest OPS of anyone we've talked about right now. But that's, again, not saying anything. He currently has 13 strikeouts and 33 ABs, so that's over 30% again. And so that's just not fun. Other people of note that have been striking out a lot, I mean, like I said, Tovar, he's got 11 and 37 ABs. This one's bad. Hunter Goodman has 16 strikeouts and 36 at-bats. That's almost that is almost 50%. Like, that's just, you're not going to get that done. You're not going to get it done if you're striking out that much. Like, yep. It's really annoying because, like, he has the ultra-aggressive approach, which a lot of the Rockies hitters do. They all have this ultra-aggressive approach, but they don't have the hit tool. They're just not hitting the ball. Like, if you're going to be that aggressive, you've got to hit the ball, and it just hasn't been working. And it's honestly just very frustrating. But it is what it is. And then for pitching-wise, like, for the most part, the pitching has been pretty good, obviously, outside of, unfortunately, Michael Lorenzen, just a brutal... His first start really just got undone by an unfortunately timed home run that he was starting to lose it a little bit in the fifth inning against Miami. And then he just has a really brutal one against the Phillies there. Other people of note, I mean, Zach Agnos has an 8.10 ERA, but he's only pitched 3 1/3 innings. So...
Edouard Julien.
Oh, we could talk, yeah.
And I'm going to eat my words because, of course, he gets a hit in the first inning.
Yeah.
But he keeps weaseling his way into the lineup. I just don't understand. He's not a positive defender. Yeah. He's not great. He's fine. But it's not like they're putting him out there for his defense.
Yeah, I do.
I don't get it. I ranted last week, so I'm not going to do it this week. But I just don't. I don't understand why.
I think in reference for tonight's lineup, he's in there because Tovar is not. And so Tovar's not, so Willie Castro's got to play short, and so Julian's got to play second. Like that. Yeah. That's why he's in there right now. But again, my biggest issue is when he is put in a DH. That makes no sense to me. I'm like, you have put in Troy Johnston. That dude is a lefty that will DH. Put in TJ Rumfeld. And if they're both in the lineup, at least now we have Mickey Moniak, who can now be that lefty. Like, Edward Julien, I suppose, was filling in for Moniak in the lefty DH spot, I suppose, which there is an argument there that that's what they were doing. So from now on, Julien absolutely should never be DHing again because it makes no sense. Yes, because he has a 348 OPS currently, 6 strikeouts and 11 ABs. Just, that's not good. You're not going to get it done. The Rockies already, going into tonight, have 99 strikeouts.
Well, they're
in how many games is it? 9? Yeah, we played 9 games, so we're averaging 11 strikeouts a game right now.
No one struck out yet, so it's still at 99.
So, but it's just it's not going to get it done. The team OPS is 608. OPS plus is 73. So, like overall, like I said, I think you could just kind of throw the whole offense in here, just because the empty at bats are just, it's going to kill you, and it's hard to watch at times, especially because this was an offense in spring training. I get it, doesn't count. That was number 2 in average, number 1 in runs scored, and why we just beat up on minor league teams. I don't get it. It didn't feel like it, but maybe we did, and so it's just, again, also I do think a lot of it can get chalked up to just no better approach or development throughout the game, and be like, I understand what they're trying to do to me to try to pitch it to me, so let me do this other thing, take it. And it's annoying, but that's just how it goes. But it is what it is. It'll get better, hopefully. And hopefully as the games go on, they'll get more in a rhythm and everything. But yep. And so to preview, we got these next 2 series. So we've got 3 at home against the Astros tonight. As we are recording right now, Ryan Feltner is starting for the Rockies. And then we've got Kyle Freeland on April 7th, which will be on Tuesday, to go against the Astros. And then on the 8th, I'm assuming that's got to be Lorenzen, right? So Lorenzen will be there. And then this, I guess, real quick of note too, Jose Quintana was placed on the IL. He had a hamstring injury. And so that stinks for him, but apparently it sounds like it's not bad, and it sounds like he will be back as soon as the 15 days are over, so he'll be back pretty quick. And so April 9th probably will be another bullpen day, so you'll probably see a starter and then a Dollander or Senzatella come out of the bullpen on the getaway day against the Astros. That'll be the first game against the Padres. Well, we're dead.
Yippee.
But yeah, we'll see how the Padres. I don't know with the Astros. I mean, I don't really have too much on the Astros. I think it won't be that big of a deal playing against the Astros. We're probably going to lose the series, I would assume. Just
if we get a win, I'm happy.
That's the thing. I mean, we already have 3 in April. We already have 3 wins in April. So if we get one more, we've already tied last year. And we're 6 days into the month. That's really sad, but that's just the nature of how bad we were last year. And so, the Padres... Huh?
We're here for the climb.
We're here for the climb. Yeah, I do find it very... as cringe as some people probably think it is, that the Rockies, that's what they're pushing. We're not pushing for, hey, we're going to go out there, we're going to win games. They're pushing the... We are admitting we're not good this year. But, that's what they need to do. Stop with the lying. They understand now at a fundamental level that this year is truly not about winning. It is about we are trying to better every part of our entire organization. And so, hopefully that can just lead to better things. But... let's see. The Astros currently, they're 6-4 and they're on top of the AL West right now, so they're playing pretty good ball. Currently, Yordan Alvarez is just going absolutely ham, so I expect him to probably hit 3 home runs this series. But that's how it goes. And then the Padres, they are 4-5 right now, so they're 1 spot above the Rockies in the NL West. And they're probably going to, I would assume we're going to lose 3 or 4. I just hope that it's not going to be like last year's series. I think it was the first series where the Rockies went into San Diego, probably one of my least favorite series I think I have ever watched in my life. Where the Rockies, did we score a run? I don't think we did.
We got perfect swept.
It's just not fun. Absolutely terrible. And against my least favorite team, no less. So, not fun. Not fun stuff, but hopefully this year we can figure something out. Maybe we can go against Marquez, and then he can be his vintage form and give up 3 home runs. So
no. What he would do if that happened, he would pitch a perfect game.
Yeah.
And that would be the most Rockies thing of all time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have another 8 2/3 no-hit game.
Yeah. But, and so so last thing we've got for today is the home run draft update. And I know I said I wouldn't say anything about the game. I'm watching it. I'm just going to say that I just watched Troy Johnson put down the most perfect bunt I have ever seen in my life. It actually, rolled and stayed
Did you get on first?
On the line. That was absolutely insane. Yeah, you got on first? Yeah. That's insane. Wow, what a bunt. All right. So we got updated scores. So as of today, so not including this game, nothing's happened yet in the game currently in terms of updating the scores. But currently tied for first are my team and Matthew's team. We both have 3 home runs. I've got Hunter Goodman, and Hunter Goodman's got 1, and TJ Rumfeld has 2. Matthew's got Ezekiel Tovar having 1, and Mickey Moniak having 2. And unfortunately, in third place is Drew with 0.
This is just so on par with all of my Rockies takes.
Yeah.
This is just so on par.
Yeah.
Literally, the only person who's not on the who's not list is just because he's in the minor leagues.
Yeah. And
everyone else is.
I didn't even mean that. I didn't even mean to do that. I was just looking through and being like, all right, so I know he's not been good. He's not been good.
No, it's deserved. You're not wrong. But it's just the most on par thing of all time that. I didn't bring this up earlier, but I'm not on the panic button with Doyle yet, but I'm hovering.
Yeah, I think if we're at this point next week, we'll regroup next week, and if he's still sitting at what under the Mendoza line, like $120,
he's hitting 143.
Yeah, so if he's sitting there next week. It's just not going to be there's got to be some talks of some form, because at that
point, the Nolan
point,
Jones branded panic button will be hit.
A big button with his face on it. Yeah.
Beck's a little younger, so I'm not I'm concerned.
I am in a eyebrow raised questioning right now with Jordan Beck, because he's just
especially
not looked good
in the corner outfield where the Rockies have 8 million options.
See, that's an issue. Is that you could argue Zach Veen, you could argue Charlie Condon, both of them. That's their ticket to playing on this roster. And if Jordan Beck continues to play this not good, they're going to push the envelope. That's just how it's going to go. And so,
but luckily for Jordan Beck, Zach Veen has not played well.
Yeah, he's also played 2 games or something. But
unluckily for him, TJ Rumfield is playing well.
Yeah.
And that means Condon doesn't really have a place at first.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. So
my team's they're back 9 bandits to me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
that's what we are. Yeah, back 9 bandits. Where we still suck, but it's fine. We're here for the climb, guys. We're here for the climb.
Yeah.
At least Dick Monfort admits it now.
Yeah, see, that's
we've waited so many years for him to just say we suck.
Should have started a rebuild in 2020 to 2021, and here we are 6 years later, and now we're starting the rebuild. So it's going to be another long process, but that's part of this, and we're trying to be as optimistic as possible, but it's going to be a long one.
I hate to say, really, it's fortunate that there's actually some lights this year so far. Pitching has been solid, and we've had some pretty solid hitters. A
Yeah,
couple.
Fleece of the century.
Yeah.
I love Angel Shiviji,
how's
but
he doing?
good riddance now that TJ Rumpin.
I'm gonna check out.
Yeah,
His
no,
doing.
that
I gotta
is
check here.
by far.
Good riddance.
Yeah.
He's not even pitched in the major leagues this year. What?
That's all I have.
Is he in the minors right now? He might be in the minor leagues. Huh. All right.
That's what the Yankees like to do with the players they trade the Rockies for some reason.
I think Jake Bird has actually been pretty solid this year. Hold on. Hold on. Now I gotta now I'm curious. I gotta check on the Dirty Bird or whatever Drew Goodman used to call. No, never mind. He's back to his ways. 1-1 with a 6.23 ERA in four innings.
Please.
That's funny. That's some funny stuff. He does have 5 strikeouts though, so he's a good strikeout guy. But also McMahon has been really bad, but that's whatever. We're not trying to be petty here.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, like again, we went 3-3 in the week. Like I'm fine with that. I don't mind it. Overall, a solid one. And like Drew said at the beginning of the podcast, if a few things run our way, we are a 500 team, about 500, maybe one game below, but we're pretty close. So, you just got to keep grinding away. If this pitching can just keep doing what it's doing, I do have faith that the offense will be able to figure something out. Just they got to figure out the strikeouts. Got to be aggressive at certain pitches, but just got to stop the chase because the chase has just been really, really hard to watch, unfortunately. And so, as I watched Brent Doyle chase on another one.
Yeah. That's why I made that face.
Yeah. But
We'll move on.
overall, a good a solid week of baseball. I'm excited for this week. Hopefully, they can take a few. So, does anyone have any predictions or things they're looking out for this week? In general,
They'll win if they win 3 games. I'll be happy.
Okay.
Out of the 7 games, if they win 3, I'll be a happy camper.
So if the Rockies go 3-4, it's a good week. I would say that's fair.
Yeah, especially in April. And look at their schedule. And I looked at their May is still pretty difficult, but their June, July, August is. If you looked at that and compared it to April, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need to start collecting those getaway games that we didn't last year, and it really adds up over the course of the season.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. So, but yeah, Matthew, you got anything?
Just hoping hoping Doyle and Goodman and Beck and Harros can, start figuring it out this week.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I'll be watching for.
It's fair. I think for me, a few things I'm gonna watch for. I think I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna watch the bounce back for Lorenzen. That's something I'm gonna watch for is his bounce back pitching against the Astros. I'm excited to see what he can hopefully come back with and what he learned and what he can do with it. And then on the offensive side, I think it's obvious that I'll be watching for Beck. I want to see what Beck can do, given some starts. I want to see if Moniak can continue his hot start. I want him to continue to be that cog in this lineup because that's what he is right now. Is he is the lifeblood of the middle of our lineup, and so, but hopefully he can continue that, and we can, roll into this next few weeks and keep April going. So, just not as bad as last year. That's all we ask. But we've already started off pretty good. I'm not mad. I'll give the season, honestly, I'll give it like a B so far. Solid. So we like that. But yeah, I've got nothing else. And so, do you guys have anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, as always, go Rockies, and we will catch you all later. All right. Bye.
Mm-hmm.